And we're back. Another Dirty Modo evening edition. Be careful, the evening editions get a little carried away. Oh, my man. We got a new shirt. I'm your host, Steve Letarte. Bottom left of my screen with a big grin on his face is the professor. We got Tampa Timms. High and tight. Did you get a new haircut, Tampa?
I did. I got a haircut Saturday.
It looks good. And then we got producer Trav with a new shirt. Go ahead, Professor. Explain the shirt.
Yeah. What does it say? You say it.
Free range Letarte.
High quality shirt.
So this is what happened. We were talking with Lee Diffie. Lee Diffie was a school teacher. And somehow it came, I don't know, we were talking about schooling. And I'm like, I went to Montessori school when I was a little kid. And they both were like, what? And then Diff goes, Montessori school, that's kind of like free range chickens. And Russ goes, that's the best description of Steve I've ever heard in my life. Go ahead, Professor. You have the floor.
Yeah, so look at that. Look at that shirt. It's a nice free-range chicken. It's got your glasses on it. It's perfect. That's your new logo, bud.
I would take it in a heartbeat. Russ says he takes me out of my hotel room, lets me run around all day like a free-range chicken, that puts me back in the pen at night.
It's accurate.
You got to sell those. Those would be off the shelves like hotcakes.
Free range chicken. I think he's going to have to send me some artwork. I'm going to send them out. We'll sell them.
It's a comfortable shirt. I like it. Got it delivered to me this morning.
We're in the t-shirt business over here.
Well, I love it. Good thing, because you're not in the predictor business.
Bull. You ready for this, Stevie?
I'm ready.
Who finished first in the race?
Larson. He led 560 laps in a 500-lap race.
Prediction said first. Who finished second in the race?
I blanked out after Larson. I can't help
Chase
you.
Elliott, predictor said second. We skip over Bubba. Where did Denny Hamlin finish? Fourth. Where did the predictor say? Fourth. Ready for this? Who finished fifth? Christopher Bell. Where did the predictor say? Third. How about Ryan Blaney? Sixth. He finished sixth. Screw off, Letarte.
You know, normally I would talk some but when you get 4 out of the top 6 on the button and 5 of the top 6 in general, I think I just got to take it. What do you think, Tampa?
Yeah. That was a good week for you, Professor. That was awesome. Yeah. Got the winner. First time in a while.
Yeah, well,
it was a dominant performance. The question was it a dominant performance in the book for Tampa?
We did all right. We had the Alex Bowman top 10. That was easy. I had
a hell of a year, in case you were wondering. Hell of a year, Alex Bowman.
Oh, yeah.
I'm paying for dinner, Phoenix. I'm paying for dinner.
Oh, we haven't forgotten.
No. We also had Ross Chastain over Josh Berry, which that was easy. No sweat all night. I didn't place it because he was in red on our sheet last week, but Ryan Preece, back-to-back top 10s. We talked about it, just didn't place it. That's the one that's going to haunt me.
It is.
If you would have done the Fade Truex, like we said, because of that speeding penalty.
Oh, we don't care how he gets there.
Yeah. Money's money.
Mm-hmm. Money's money. Speaking of money's money, we have the Degenerate parlay coming up later in the show. Let's review last week's Degenerate parlay.
Let's review it.
4-leg. Oh, hop, pep. I have the floor. Just back her down, Busch Light. All right. Let's review. We had 4 legs in the parlay, but we combined because Professor and I, unbeknownst to each other, we picked the same game. So who had the first leg last week?
Timms.
It
was
Tennessee minus 6.5.
Hammer bet. Won, no problem, running away. And then it was Trav who had a weather sweat bet, not the game. First it was a weather sweat bet, then it was a game sweat bet. What was your pick, Trav?
Liberty minus 6.5.
We had to go to like 2 a.m. to get the game going.
They issued if the game doesn't kick off before 11, they're going to cancel it. It kicks off at like 10:48, and I look up and it's 7-0, 14-0. I'm like, I'm going to bed like I failed everybody. My bet. I wake up in the morning, we did it. I don't know how.
So then we had a little team meeting Sunday morning, and Tampa says, "Listen, we got a pretty big buyout option right here." So we cash out with double the money. Now there's a whole story here. You guys don't realize what Professor and I had as a side conversation. So here's what happened. We bet X, $5 a man, right? $20 in.
$20.
We cashed out 40. We cashed out double our money. We cashed out 63. We kept the double our money profit. Is that correct? Don't
Yes.
let me misspeak. Okay. Then we took our other $23 and reinvested it into a big loser.
Yes.
Thank goodness, because the Panthers, the Red Rifle, Andy Dalton, the only quarterback in the NFL so far to throw for 300 yards and 3 touchdowns in a game.
Who had the Panthers Raiders in the original bet?
Only half the podcast. Me and the professor.
I mean,
But
come
so wait. Here's
on.
the story. Here's what you guys don't know. Here's what you don't know what happened. So professor texts me or calls me and he goes, "Hey, I think the math on this is all messed up." I said, "What are you talking about?" He goes, "Well, we're going to bet the Panthers again." He goes, I just don't know. Now we have $5 bets, right? So this is what I tell him. And professor's going to love this. I said, "Well, professor, we doubled our money." He goes, "Yeah, I know." I said, "Okay. So let me just put it in different terms to see if you still have the same opinion." He goes, "Okay." I said, "If you would have given them $1,000, Tampa would have gave you your 1,000 back plus 1,000 in profit." And he goes, "Oh, well, you put it that way. This is a pretty good idea." He goes, "Why didn't we give him 1,000?" I'm like, "Because we didn't want to lose 1,000, you dumb." But we doubled our money. But yeah, he thought it was a bad idea because we only made $20. I'm like, we only risked $20.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The name of the game is have fun, turn a profit.
So right now we're $20 up. That's what I've heard. We're $20 up.
Yeah. Yeah, we're still good. We're still good.
$20 in profit, and I have a couple Saturday picks. I'm going to see what everybody else is at. But let's jump right in. I was a little worried about Hamlin's dog. I was a little worried about Hamlin's producer. It could have gone bad at Bristol, but it didn't. Hamlin snuck by. Now we're on to the round of 12. Hey, NFL fans, you could start the season with a big return on FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. So when you get a hunch in the middle of a game, you can check out the latest stats, view live play-by-play, and so much more on the same page where you place your bets. You'll get started with $200 in bonus bets, guaranteed, when you place your first $5 bet. That's FanDuel.com/Dough, D-O-U-G-H. Never waste a hunch and make every moment more with FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL. 21 and over and present in North Carolina. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. All right, Professor, since you were so big, although I don't even recognize this predictor. What are these? These shades are like where we left the psychedelic world. We're down to just some greens to a pale yellow.
Yeah, we went back to normal colors.
All right, we're going to Kansas, 1.5 miles. Don't let it fool you, though. Goes crazy at Kansas. Kyle Larson won, closest margin of victory ever in the NASCAR Cup Series. Chris Buescher got another bloody nose, finished second by 1/1000th or whatever it was. So what's it say this time? What says you, Professor?
Tier 1, Kyle Larson, Denny Hamlin, Tyler Reddick, Christopher Bell, Chase Elliott. Kind of standard.
Real far on the limb with Tier 1 this week, boys. I'd have to disagree with him, but I have to agree. Let's just go right to the books. Let's just talk it. Larson, 4-1 at the time of the pod. He's not going to move much. Hamlin, 5-1. You can get Reddick, 7, 7.5, 8. Move it around a little bit. Bell, 13. Chase Elliott is the only surprise. You have him 5th, and he's not really a surprise. He's 16-1. The question I have is, Tampa, do you just bet all 5 in Tier 1?
Yes, besides maybe Chase Elliott. I disagree with this Chase Elliott one. I don't know where it's coming from. Maybe Russ can explain it to me better. But, I mean, I think the front 4, I don't know how you pick between them, honestly. I think Bell at 13-1 is really good value. I like that a lot. But if Kyle Larson doesn't make your card in some point as a winner, I think you're doing it all wrong.
I have to agree. I mean, it's what he did at Bristol was just a hats off, right? Like, I don't like a race that's a little that sleepy, but A+ Kyle Larson. It was a butt kicking.
Russ, what do you have to say about Elliott? What's the number say?
Well, his last 3 races at Kansas have been 3rd, 6th, and 7th. He's in his last 3.5 miles are 7th, 3rd, and 1st. And he's just been running well lately. Well, he was runner-up at Bristol. He drives for Mr. Hendrick, which I think that's pretty telling. So he's got the equipment and he's got the finishes recently.
So I'm going to raise my hand, though. Hold on, I'm going to raise my hand because we don't talk this much. This is a rare conversation here. Minus 220 top 10 Tampa. I actually like that bet this week. I like Chase minus 220.
Where I'd look for another another guy to get that down. Maybe a little two top 10 parlay. But, I mean, my thing with Chase, I don't like to bet him to win because he really hasn't ran up there and led laps.
Well, that's why I like him top 10, because you and I see the same thing.
That's what I'm saying. I do like the top 10 bet. I just hate betting minus 220. But
so my question is, if you say you did a Elliott, I'm looking for Bell, minus 220 Elliott, minus 240 Bell.
Love it.
Monster names. Elliott, Bell, we can get him. It's plus 105 in our top 10. It's already over there on the side. You can get Bell, Elliott, plus 105. I like that.
Love it. Hammer it. Full unit, hammer it. Max bet.
Before we get going, let's go over the drivers that are still left. Let's give that list of fans that aren't up to that.
Okay, yeah. So we lost Martin Truex Jr., Ty Gibbs, Harrison Burton, and Brad Keselowski. So who's left in the playoffs? We have Larson, Hamlin, Reddick, Bell, Byron, Blaney, Elliott. I'm going down the line. Logano, Suarez, Cindric, Bowman, and what was the last?
Briscoe.
Playoff winner? Absolutely. Professor, you disagree?
Unless it's Truex or Gibbs.
And I'll give you a little side hustle here, Professor. 8 playoff drivers, over under playoff drivers inside the top 10. 8 is the number.
8's a lot.
7.5 is the real number, so 8's a winner.
I don't hate it. I think it's a good line. I think it's a good line. But I think there's going to be something crazy that happens. This race is crazy. You're going to have 3 or 4 of those guys with problems.
So back to the predictor, all playoff guys top tier. Let's go to second tier real quick because there's some other names we want to talk about. Professor, go ahead.
Yeah, second tier, Bubba Wallace, Ross Chastain, William Byron, Ryan Blaney, Keselowski, and Buescher. Lots of non-playoff guys in this round.
Lots of non-guys, some big names, some longer odds. Bubba 24-1. 6th on the predictor. We haven't seen that big a split in quite some time. Chastain 30-1. 7th on the predictor. And before anybody says, look, I was the guy last year, said playoff guy wins the final race, blah, 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 blah. Chastain kicked us right in the teeth. So he has been known to win in the playoffs, not being a playoff driver. Tamper, do I get a little rose twinkle? Did your eye, was there a little something going on there?
Hey, I love both those guys this weekend. Bubba, Chastain, they've been running good so far in the playoffs. I think you got to sprinkle a little bit on them for long shots. I like them both top 10. My thing with Bubba, I think he's minus 120. I've seen minus 110 out there. It's not too bad, but you know, I'm a risker. Obviously, I'm a gambler. I'll take the risk after qualifying, see if maybe something happens, maybe a spin, maybe a miscalculation. I don't know. It gets the plus money, but I think you got to bet Chastain top 10 this week too.
Do you think with Bubba not making the playoffs is kind of let him race freer?
I mean, maybe nobody wants to be there. There's definitely no pressure, contract extension. I think he's just, enjoying himself. I do think, though, like, say he lines up in the last front 2 rows and Reddick's up there, I do think it'll hit home that he's like, man, I can't mess this up for Reddick. And I think it's hard for a driver to win with that in the back of his mind. Now, if he lines up in the top 2 rows without Reddick up there, I think he could give less if it's Denny Hamlin or Christopher Bell or any of those guys, even his team owner.
I think Denny might be the one exception.
If he lets Denny win, then they should fire him. I had the same opinion about Reddick giving him that point. He said something about, well, you helped Denny out. I'm like, well, then have you never met Denny? Like, you got to race for all it's worth. Like, I'm sorry. I'm okay with Bubba cutting a guy a slack for 3rd, 4th, 7th. But if it's for the win, cut the man's throat, bud. Like how many wins does Bubba have? Does he have time to no, you know what? I'll save time on the shelf. I don't need a win this week. I mean, come on.
And to your point, I think Denny would expect that, and he's not going to be mad if they do that.
Denny never, absolutely. And I think Bubba would do it. Like, I think, as he should. Now, look, you have to do it with like a little bit of space. You can't run into the guy. But if you could pass him clean. Tier 3. Go ahead. I love it. Just take a little pause. First name on Tier 3.
It's my favorite driver, Alex Bowman. You see how that is?
Ahead of your favorite driver.
Then we have Martin Truex, Ty Gibbs, Kyle Busch, Joey
Tier
Logano. Yeah, Daniel Suarez and Chase Briscoe.
This is a bad line for Suarez.
What do you mean?
Man, well, I guess you do have him 17th. I got a question. Does Kyle Busch win this year?
No. Nope.
You want to take that bet?
Nope.
I know what the bet's going to be, so no. I said at the beginning of the year, I remember, like, I don't think he's going to win a race and he's not going to make the playoffs and he's going to struggle. And I've been right so far.
Yeah, I hate to agree. I hope he wins, but I have to agree with you.
I hope him and Truex win. They both deserve to win. It'd be great for them to win, but
Yeah.
I don't know if either one of them does.
What's more likely, Busch or Truex wins?
I think Truex.
Truex has the speed. Busch does not have the speed.
Been doing Truex a whole lot of good.
He was really fast on pit road.
Wow.
Fan club's gonna be mad.
That's a guy. That's your guy.
Got a little
too.
chilly in here. I'm going to have to put my hood up. Tier 4, Noah Gregson, Josh Berry, Mike McDowell, Carson Hocevar, Austin Cindric, Eric Jones, the 7-car new driver, Justin Haley, Austin Dillon, Ryan Preece. Can we talk a little bit about the 751? If there was a head-to-head matchup, 751, who you taking? That would be a good one. Like, the book should put that out there.
You know, I would pick LaJoie only because every time you see this, I feel like the guy who got slighted always comes out on top that first race.
Man, that would be interesting.
I think Haley will outrun him, but I'm just saying, LaJoie, I think
You're
he's...
no, I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, the guy that got cut is like,
It's like the new coach bump. When a coach gets fired, the team gets pumped up, they win that first game.
You mean it's like Andy Dalton coming in for the Panthers?
Exactly. Yeah. It's exactly that. This is what's going to happen.
I can relate. Goodbye, money.
How big of an adjustment is that to go 1 week in one car and then another team? And
So normally I would say not huge, but it's a different manufacturer in the whole 9 yards. So I think, it's going to be a learning curve.
does it, with it being a next gen and the cars being more similar than you, does that help?
Maybe a little. Yeah, from years ago. All right, so I see some more blue. I see some top 5 blue.
Yeah, I got a good top 5 stat for Tim's.
Trav, you want to take that?
No, you can have it. It's yours.
This is a Monday morning text. Trav was hard at work. And he's like, hey, if you want Denny Hamlin top 5, 15 top 10s, 14 of them have been top 5s. And I was like, cool. It's good with me. I hate minus 170, but Denny's not a qualifier. So I think we'll get that down after qualifying. But it's worth talking. It's a good stat, Trav.
And then the professor got a little defensive about stats coming from a different place.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Russ, what was your response?
Well, he finished top 5 in the last 6 races. His longest top 5 streak ever at a track. And that's the longest top 5 streak at Kansas.
Russ goes, that's how you do stats.
It was Monday morning, and you're not on my time on Monday morning.
Listen, I was prepping for Denny's podcast, getting some information.
Yeah. You're also tweeting all weekend about Denny.
Oh, it's obnoxious.
Oh, yeah.
It is.
No one roots for their team or their driver harder than Travis.
Hey,
Ohio State and Denny. That's all
I also
his
gave
Twitter is.
Letarte a shout out on Twitter too.
Did you? I don't
Yes.
read it.
I did it just to see if Russ would see it and get mad.
I think I unfollowed you at that point.
I didn't know you were on Twitter until you started sending those text messages.
So you like Larson, Bell, Chastain all to win.
Yes, Chastain. So Chastain, it's either Chastain, Bubba, or Bowman for me. I would pick Chastain, but I mean, something tells me a little bit about Bowman, a sprinkle to win, because he's in the playoffs. That's what I like about it compared to Bubba and Chastain a little bit. But I think Chastain, like you said it earlier, like Phoenix, he will win. So that's not really an issue. He won't get out of the way of the playoff guys, is what I'm saying.
So I have a matchup that I'm sure it's this way for a reason, but my gut tells me it's totally backwards, and I need Professor to give me some information on. Cindric versus Suarez. Cindric, the dog, at plus 130. Daniel at -160. I don't know. For some reason, I think Cindric is going to be better than that.
So Cindric's last 3 races at Kansas have been 37th, 31st, 31st.
That's not good, Timms.
No, he's definitely had more speed though in the playoffs.
That's what I mean.
So I don't disagree with that.
And Suarez has been he's been top 16 in 3 of the last 4.
Maybe I just have a bad taste after Bristol.
Steve, we've seen Suarez and Bowman and Briscoe. They had a great first round. Momentum in NASCAR and racing.
Suarez had 2 legs of a great first round.
Okay, but he wasn't he almost threw it away, but he was 36 of the good going into it. But momentum, is that something that in the playoffs with racing that do you believe in, or how's it, compared to other sports?
So here's the thing. It's so I don't know how to measure this because they have momentum from running well, but then how much air comes out of the balloon when they reset and you're below? Like running well didn't do anything. I mean, it did something. That's not true. You advanced. But you look at Suarez and Bowman and Cindric, it's like, hey, great job, you advanced. Now you're at the bottom again. Start all over. Climb the mountain one more time, right? It seems like it's got to be exhausting. So it could be, one side of the coin, hey, guys, we proved we could do it. Let's prove it again. The other side of the coin is you're exhausted because you just got done with this great, total work of 3 races, and it while you did advance, it didn't really gain you anything when it came to seeding time for the second round.
That's why I think the points should carry over from the 3 races.
Man, you crazy as hell.
Why?
Because it's not the system. The system is we had a 10-race championship.
You still eliminate, but then you keep your points, or then you would get drivers being more aggressive at Bristol.
What?
You had people that
you would not. You've been listening to Denny too much.
No, Denny didn't like the idea.
I don't like the idea either. I think it's ridiculous.
I think Byron wouldn't have been settling for where he was.
Bullshit. You think he was settling? The guy was driving for all he was worth. He just couldn't pass the guy in front of him. What do you think? He's riding around yep, you know what I like to be? Mid-tier top 10. This is what I dreamt of when I loaded up to go to Bristol.
Denny said 10 drivers were just riding around, not wanting to screw up.
Oh, yeah, because Denny had more speed. Bullshit. He was running as fast as he could. That's where he was going to run.
I'm just saying, I just think that if you do well, like Suarez or Briscoe,
that's like
they
saying
should
the guy
carry it.
ninth in the Masters didn't care because he only finished ninth. I mean, come on. The hell are you, man? You Ohio State guys. I'm going to tell you.
So you think that Reddick drove as aggressive as he could have?
I think Reddick drove to accomplish the goal. I don't think he would have. How about this? If the points carried over, he would have been less aggressive because a wreck hurts you the whole playoffs. So I totally disagree with you. I think they would be more conservative all 9 races if they carried over because you can't have a wreck at a Bristol. Or I think it would ruin this week's race. I think if the points carried over, they would go into Kansas and then have mittens on. No. Totally, fundamentally disagree.
You better not edit that out, Trav.
I'll leave it in.
Woo! Man.
Got Steve going, though.
Free range chicken out of the coop. Let's talk matchups. Busch and Truex. Basically, heads up. The professor can't say it. He wants to say it's a toss-up, but it's crushing his soul to say it.
This is a Truex bet.
Well, Truex is going to be faster, but will he finish in front of?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Logano, Blaney.
I think this is disrespect for Logano. This should be a heads up even.
Yeah, the last several races it should be Logano.
Ooh.
I think they got it wrong.
He's going. I see the cursor moving. We're going to have a little action on that one.
That's a matchup.
Byron and Bell, can we say we're going to go ahead? So this is an interesting one because if you look at the whole year, Byron has a chance, but recently Bell's been in fuego.
Yeah, I don't like fading Bell, but
Tim's, are you backing off Bell? I feel like past 2 weeks you thought that was
No.
his week.
No. I have Bell highlighted about 3 different times on this sheet. So
Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of Bell. I'm looking around here. I can see 1, 2, actually 3, 4, 5. You have him 5 times.
yeah,
5 times.
I just got to pick which way I want to bet him. I mean,
This is Tampa Bell Timms.
he's
Tampa Bell Timms right here.
He's gonna win. He's gonna do. He's gonna finish top 5, and he's gonna in one of these races. He's just gonna end up winning. So I feel like I have to have him every race till the end of the year.
Chastain and Bowman. Oh,
they're gonna finish right next to each other.
They are too. That's a sweat bet. That's the final restart with 3 to go. That's going to be determined through 1 and 2 on the final restart. Those two guys.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a Bowman bet. I hate to say it, but it's a Bowman bet.
Finally coming around.
I appreciate, Professor, you putting your grudges aside and giving the listener an honest assessment of the situation. Now the matchups, RCR versus Trackhouse, fascinating.
Fascinating. I like Trackhouse in that. But again, it's Chastain versus Kyle Busch. And they're going to finish right next to each other, too.
Penske versus RFK, I think you have to go Penske. You got an extra bullet. 3 against 2.
And all 3 of them are pretty fast.
Well, I mean, so how about this? I think that it's heads up Logano and Blaney against Brad and Chris. Right, so Buescher and I think that, and then you get a Cindric on top, a Cindric cherry on top. I think you had to take Penske just for the numbers. We got some group highlights. We normally ignore the group bets, but let's have it, Tampa. Group A, Bell, Truex, Elliott, Blaney. You like Bell.
Yeah, I think this is kind of like I like Bell top 5 at plus 155, but I think if you're going to beat these 3 drivers, you're going to probably have to finish top 5, and I'm getting plus 210. So
we have a tool for this. Let's go 1.5 tracks, Professor, last 2 years, those 4 drivers. So, okay, don't give us the answer yet. How many 1.5s are in the system?
17.
I believe that Chase Elliott leads the way.
He's second to Bell.
Oh, the numbers are the same. Let's have him. Bell's leading the way. Let's have it.
Yeah, 7 to 4 to 3 to 3.
Tampa.
That's good.
Numbers agree with you.
Now the interesting thing is, though, Truex has been the second highest 9 times.
Yeah, you know what that pays? Scudach. That's a loser. That's like saying I only lost the over by a half point.
Now, overall, though, Chase Elliott and Bell are within a half a point of each other in my scoring system for it.
Did he just make up a whole new system?
I did.
I think he did.
I made up a scoring system for these group bets. So it takes
right.
like their career, their season, the track.
Okay, so Bell leads. So Tampa, you picked that one right. Now let's go to Buescher, Kez, Gibbs, and Bubba. I think this is a good bet because I think the odds are correct in this thing, but I like what you're thinking about Bubba.
Bubba's my favorite.
Really?
17 races, how many times?
So they only have 14 together
Okay, fair.
because of Ty Gibbs.
Yep.
And Bubba has the most with 7 of those.
It's a bad line, Tampa. Jump
That's a
on
bad
it.
one.
I'm going to tell you.
That might not make the end of the show.
Tampa,
on,
right?
hold
Oh, yeah.
Hold
People
on,
are going to be
hold
looking for
on.
this. This is a line mover.
I had a wrong driver in here. Wrong number.
Oh, no.
Hold on.
Thank God I didn't open the app yet.
He's not a race engineer. We'd already come down pit road. We had wrong data in the computer right there.
It's still Bubba. 6 of the 14.
I love it. Tampa
And-
putting in the grind.
And 2 of the 4 at Kansas.
It's already placed.
Winning manufacturer, no thanks. Top Toyota, we have a Bell and a Bubba highlight. You're big.
He's the president of the Christopher Bell fan club.
Listen, I'm just trying to find the best value out there. All right, trying to find the best number. So I can't believe Bell's not like a co-favorite with Denny on this, and he's the 4th highest Toyota, tied for 3rd with Truex. I mean that's what stood out to me. And then Bubba, he should be right up there too. But I like the group bets better. I've already bet those, so I'm not going to bet that top Toyota.
Okay.
Stevie,
Yo.
what about this Chevy over Ford?
Minus 180.
I like Toyota over Ford better. I actually like them both. I think Ford's going to be the 3rd of the manufacturers.
Is there like a Ford's in the top 10 this week, Trav?
Yes.
The
there
first
is.
Ford on the predictor is Ryan Blaney in 9th.
Yeah.
Over under 3.5 Fords in the top 10. Under minus 170. Over plus 140.
I would hammer
Under for the house.
Yeah. That should be 2.5 and
Thank
still
you.
juiced.
3.5. So I'll give you Blaney Kaz Busher or Blaney Busher Logano, or like you're telling me 2 Penske's and 2 RFKs? No way.
All right, so while we're here, Chevy's 3.5 over minus 175, under plus 145.
4 is a tough ask, but I would take the over.
Toyota's 3.5 over plus 130, under
I would take
minus
Toyota
160.
over. I would be Toyota over Chevy over Ford under. And you're going to get 4, 4, and 2 and hit it right on the button. Right on the kisser.
If Bell wins this race, nobody's going to be happier. It's going to go Christopher Bell, Coach Gibbs, Bell's wife, and Timms. Those are the 4 happiest people on the planet.
Oh. We're going to have to shoot over to Final Cut Steakhouse on the Hollywood Casino off turn 2 to find Tampa.
Yeah.
Eating his duck fat fries, big smile on his face.
Oh, yeah. I'll make my way to Victory Lane. Don't you worry.
They got duck fat fries, guys. I'm going to tell you. I didn't know that was a
sounds
thing,
nice.
but they're magic.
I've never been to Kansas. I'd like to go. I've heard great things about that.
Great
area.
casino.
Yeah.
Great casino.
That's all I'd be.
That's when the free range Letarte really comes out.
That's when it's hard to get him back in his cage. I'll be honest with you.
Lead changes. This is a hammer. Over 19.5.
Yep.
What's the numbers say?
The numbers recently are 28, 19, 37. It's the last 3.
Yeah, this is a hammer.
Wow. What's
A
up with that
hammer.
line
And you know
then?
why it's a hammer? That's like betting the over. Nobody's won an ass kicking. You are cheering for lead changes. Now, these are official at the line, 19.5 to start finish line, so they can swap all they want on the backstretch. You need to get a different leader back to the line. 19.5, though, I think is an absolute hammer bet. Margin of victory I don't like this week. They got it too chopped up. I think it's going to be under a second, but there's no money to be made with a plus. I just don't like it.
Yeah, if the plus 180 was a little higher, you could work with it, but
Yep. And then drivers on the lead lap. This is an absolute hammer. There is no way we're having under 18.5 drivers on the lead lap. No way.
I feel like something weird's got to happen for that to happen.
Totally. Because free passes, waiver rounds, there's no way we're going to have 18.5. What's the number say there?
That's why it's highlighted. 31, 24, 22. There was a 16 and a 23. That's your
Now,
last.
if you could parlay those together, oh boy.
God,
Tampa will be flying private to the Hollywood Casino.
yeah. I'm flying in private the second half of the race. Don't have to watch the first half. Or I'd watch them.
you cannot combine them.
Now, drivers to lead a lap, I would avoid that one because you're going to get a lot of lead changes, but 10.5 is a lot of leaders. I would actually lean the under, as awful as that says.
Yeah, that's like betting
A
it
third
over,
of the
but
field.
yeah, that's like betting a team total on a team, and the other team's doing all the scoring, so the over is going to smash. But I don't know.
Yeah, and the average is 10, so it's
Cincinnati, you pricks.
Yeah.
All right, what else? We like the double top 10s. Handling, and we're not doing minus 260, minus Bell Truex plus 105, Bell Byron plus 105, Bell Elliott plus 105.
Yeah, that Bell Elliott one. I like combining those two for good plus money. Maybe sprinkle a Chastain Bowman plus 350.
Just looking at it. You're in my brain. We were zeroed in together on that one.
That's a Tampa Timms sweat bet if I've ever seen one.
That is. You know what's going to happen is Bowman's going to pass Chastain 4/10.
Yeah.
And you're
Oh,
like,
yeah.
oh, Jesus criminy.
I'll be praying that playoff ticker moves out of the way so I can see what 11th is. Just see where he's at.
Don't worry, Tampa. I'll get you. I'll be like,
Thank you.
just for the record, first non-playoff car, Chastain at 11th. That's what I'll just roll out there one time.
I'll know it's for me. I'll know it's
That's
for
right.
me.
That's right. Anything else before we get to this degenerate foursome? We got a lot of football to talk about.
Xfinity is out. Do we want to quickly
Sure.
playoff start for them?
That's a
Can we
great
play
call.
Can we play that game where we guess who's the favorite?
Limited field, right, Professor? Mostly all Xfinity guys, no real big names.
Almirola is your big one. He's going to be in the 20 for all the playoff.
There is one not big name but up and comer name.
Connor Zilic?
Connor Zilic is racing.
Not a bet this week.
Who do you think is first?
Allgaier.
Yep. Plus 350. Number 2.
Hill.
No.
Almirola.
He's
No,
plus
no, no,
1100.
no, no, no. Mr. Second Place is himself.
Sheldon Creed.
No. Sheldon Creed is plus 1100.
I like that.
That's the bet.
Too.
That's the bet. Ladies and gentlemen, we have action on the table.
You could get Sheldon Creed plus 120 for top 5.
What can I bet second?
Plus 300 for top 3. I wish the books would come out and say, you know what? We're offering one driver to finish second. You can bet him if not. Sheldon Creed, here's the number.
That's his finishing position.
All right,
Second,
so just give us the odds real quick. You got Allgaier first.
Allgaier first, Cole Custer, Chandler Smith, Almirola, Connor Zilic.
Wow.
A lot of respect for Amarillo and Zilic. I don't believe it. I love the Sheldon Creed action.
Custer's never out of top 10 at Kansas. Stevie, how about that?
Really? That'll get in on the CW broadcast. Creed is the pick, we think. All right, yeah, Degenerate 4-pack. I have a couple Saturday actions. So remember, we go in order of the weekend. What's everybody else have?
I got a 7:30 Saturday.
Hold, please. Let me check the game time. I don't know for sure.
I have a Friday one, so I'm probably first.
Oh, Jesus.
No, you aren't, because our other man up here is a Thursday one.
Oh.
Isn't that right? Isn't that what you said, Russ?
Well, I do have one, but
What do you mean, but? How hard is this conversation? Like,
I have one. Do you want to do one that's on a Thursday night, or do you want to wait?
It's you get your best bet. I don't care if it's here in 10 minutes if we can get the bet in time.
Okay.
You put your best bet out there.
Mine's at 7 p.m. on Saturday.
So mine would be the last one.
Okay, go ahead, Professor. You're leading us off. Don't start with a loser.
Oh, I might change my bet now.
No. You have to go for it.
We're up money.
That's a tough one.
We're taking our profits, $20 worth of profits, going into a 4-teamer.
He's puckering already.
Can I give you what I'm between, and you guys can help
Yes.
me out?
No. Hell no. You have to put your thumbprint on this bet because you're not putting the blame anywhere else.
Steve doesn't want to share the blame with you this week.
Correct. I rode that damn thing down like the Titanic last week.
I hate, as an Eagles fan, this hurts me to do this, but Dallas Cowboys minus 5.5.
Over the Giants on Thursday night? What was your other option?
Yeah, let's rethink this one.
I had the Rams plus 2.5.
No, I like the Dallas Giants over 45, but it's your pick. You're riding with Dallas?
Yeah, over 45. That's what I got. Dallas.
No, you're taking the 5.5-point line after what happened this weekend?
You don't want to take an alt line or anything like that? Maybe.
Nope. We have it.
5.5.
Dallas minus 5.5. Russ is on the book.
It's in. All right, am I next?
Yep.
I'm going Friday night, Miami Hurricanes. We're going to get it down about 7 points. We're going to go down minus 12.5 alt spread.
I support that.
I'm going 7 o'clock on Saturday, the Ohio State Buckeyes. Over 48.5. Ohio State, Michigan State, over 48.5. I like the over in this game.
I've got Ohio State first half minus 12.5.
That's your game?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't think we can do that. They're probably not going to let us put
Oh.
two in the same game.
Let me try it.
They
No,
might.
there's no way they're going to let us have Ohio State over.
Yeah, they will.
Here, hold on.
When's that
Ohio
game kick
State.
off? 7?
So you want the over 48.5?
I want over. It's
Yeah,
on
you can
MVP
parlay that. You
Talk.
can parlay it. I know you can 100% parlay just the Ohio State first half and over.
Hang on, I just got to find first half and I got it. What'd you do, minus 12.5?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do it.
Fire away. What's our $20 going to win? Right here in the pod. Let's hear it.
$136.68.
Whoop, 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 whoop. And the best part is we're playing with house money.
House money.
But Steve, why did we cash out? I don't get it.
All right, that's the degenerate, but let's hear what everything else. So I love the Dallas Giants over 45.
I do
I
love the
Thursday
over.
night Dallas Giants going over 45. I love the Chiefs minus 7.5 against the Saints.
Timms, what is the download bet that you guys did with the Thursday night game?
Yes, we had. This is our 4 plays. TJ picked Dak Prescott over 275 passing yards. That was how we started. Yeah.
Let me go back to our bad beats when you're done with this. Please
Yeah.
go ahead.
Don't worry, there's a no sweat bet, so we made sure that we played that on this one. I had Malik Neighbors 6 catches. I agree with Dale. He yelled at me. I should have had the yards. I regret it, but 6 catches. He should have that. Devin Singletary was Dalton's at 60 yards, rushing yards, and then Dale goes Giants team total 19.5 over.
Ooh.
This one that was
Jones.
Giants, the whole team total.
All I'm going to say is Trubisky.
Damn, Trubisky. 1 rushing attempt.
All I needed was one more attempt. I don't even care if it was a loss of yards. Over 6.5 for Josh Allen. We bring in Mitchell Trubisky. Although Mac Jones did come in the game as a Patriots fan. He handed it to the Bills. Wrong team. Appreciate that.
We were 1 kneel down away.
I know.
That's it. That was a great play, too.
All right, so there's my favorites. I like the Dallas Giants Thursday night game, the Amazon game over. I like the Chiefs minus 7.5. Now, I do have a way long vision way out there, a future spread I've already placed. K-State over Kansas. I can get it minus 6.5, and I got K-State at minus 6.5.
I think both those teams are just garbage right now.
Yeah, but I'm only looking for one garbage to smell not as bad as the other garbage.
K-State's about to get a big win at home against OK State this weekend, so it's not bad.
What do you guys got? What's on your ticket this week? Holy
Yeah, he's got a lot.
smokes.
You might
So
have
the bet that I was thinking about making, and
That's a great shirt, by the way. Did I get one? Did you at least order me one?
you got to pay for it.
I just want a trucker hat with just the logo.
That'd
Just
be
the chicken
sweet.
with the glasses. Little rope trucker hat. Now, you got to get XL. I got an 8 1/8 noggin. This thing is enormous cranium. So I need an 8 1/8 trucker hat, flat bill, with the chicken with the glasses. Oh, he'll figure it out. If there's $5 to be made, he's going to squeeze it right out of this rock.
Five. You think that's going to cost you $5? It's like $1,000 right
You know what? Another bottle of wine, please.
I was going to say, yeah, I'm definitely the one you want to be poking. Sure.
The bet that I was gonna make was Khalil Mullings from Michigan over 81.5 yards rushing, minus 114. Steve, let me read this to you. Minnesota gave up 206 yards to Caleb Johnson last week from Iowa. They gave up 129 yards to UNC running back. Khalil Mullings has hit this mark 3 times this year. Last week he ran for 159. He is better than Donovan Edwards, and the team knows it. So I will be betting that, just not on the Degenerate 4-pack.
I can appreciate that.
I've already placed Indiana minus 6.5 over Maryland. Indiana's made me money every week. I'm riding until the wheels fall off.
That one is. I have that on my list as well. I love that one. IU.
And then someone explained why Ole Miss is only favored by 17.5.
Against
And
a
they-
garbage team.
And Kentucky sucks.
They got a good defense.
Yeah, Ole Miss got a good offense, though. I like the offense. And then, Trab, Liberty over App State should be the absolute lock.
Minus 3.5. It's a weird one. App State's not good. The other weird line that I don't get, I haven't got clarification on it, BYU plus 3.5 versus Baylor.
I had a little epiphany. This is one of those games where a Mountain West team goes into a big Power 5 conference like that, and they the bed. But Baylor does suck.
If it was another team, but BYU, they just love to fight. Like, Kalani Sitake's a great coach. Like, I don't think they're scared of the moment. If it was one of these teams that are like a lot of skill players and not a lot of meat in the middle, maybe. But I'll be betting that.
I'm gonna bet it, but
I bet Ryan Williams, Alabama receiver, anytime touchdown. I'm betting him each week until he doesn't cash one for me. He's reached Shane Lowry territory when you just blind just pick him in matchups.
Illinois Penn State, Professor? You got any feeling on Illinois Penn State?
Oh, Penn State's going to win, but I don't know if it's a 17.5 win.
Can I even get that on the money line? I don't even know if that's a possible bet.
You can, but it's like minus 255 something.
It's minus 1,000.
I got another one, and this is one that I wouldn't go to in years past just because they can't score the points, but they can score the points this year. Army minus 12.5 to 13.5. It's been moving around. I don't know where it is currently over Temple.
I need Temple to lose.
350 rushing yards a game. I mean, they only do is run, but still, that's crazy.
I might be sitting on a Temple under for their season win total. So.
I'm going to tell you right now, Vandy and I might bounce my next tuition check just out of principle. Those pricks. They can't find a third win. I mean,
Texas, Mississippi State.
Do we know the quarterback situation at Texas? Because I don't.
I don't either.
I don't know either.
I don't think it matters.
What's the line?
It's, I don't know. I had the over.
38.5?
Yeah, 38.5.
I'd take the team total.
Texas is going to score. They look good.
Mm-hmm. And they're pissed off, too. They're number one, and they want to be like number 1A, B, and C. They don't want anybody close to them.
Speaking of pissed off, USC minus 15.5 versus Wisconsin. Wisconsin going to trot out Braden Locke as their quarterback. Tyler Van Dyke's done. USC blew that game. I'm still think they're a talented team. I think they can go out there and they just have more skill.
Next, you're going to have me betting on Notre Dame.
Georgia, Alabama is the game of the
Thank
weekend.
You. Where are we at on this one?
I mean,
what's the line?
2. -2 to Georgia and 40.5. Yeah.
Georgia wins this.
Yeah, don't overthink it. It's Georgia.
And the under.
I think the under. I
don't know.
I think Georgia can stifle. They're going to try to make Jalen Milroe throw the ball. I think.
Tell you what I like. What's the first half under?
Probably 24.
Well, because I'm going to tell you, there could be fun. Here's why I say this, because it could turn into like trading punches third and fourth quarter, but it is going to be tried and true ground attack, slow moving Georgia first half. I mean, it's going to be 10-7. It's going to be 7-7, 14-7, 14-10. So if it's 24.5, I'm taking the under first half.
Trying to find it.
I like that a lot.
You know what I mean? Tampa, because Georgia just comes out like they're going to say they, God forbid, they receive. They're gonna take 7.5 minutes off the clock and kick a field goal.
Yeah.
You're gonna be like, holy smokes!
These games always start out slow.
They do. Now it could blow over. This is why I don't like the over. I don't like the over because of overtime. In this game, it could be close. I don't like the over because it's college and they could just decide that the ratings aren't good enough. We're gonna throw the shit out of the football in the fourth quarter. But first quarter under. If it's 24.5, I like the under.
Yeah.
First half is 23.5.
Oh, that 14-10 would bite me right in the ass like that 2-point conversion did at Cincinnati. I texted. Tell them the truth. I text y'all. The Cincinnati game had a lot to go. And when Cincy didn't make their first 2-point, I put on the text thread, that 2-point is going to ruin my teaser.
Yep.
And sure enough, just kick the point.
I have 2 more player props, because, of course, Quinshon Judkins for Ohio State, over 72.5 rushing yards. And then Carnell Tate, 41.5 receiving yards.
You and Dale Jr. are the most prop playing people I've ever met in my life.
But it works for me. I'm probably better there than I am picking the games.
I can't wait
send
for
me
the
all
day.
your props today on text. I'm going to tail every one of them.
All right.
I'm on a full weekend tail.
The day you put the player prop in the Degenerate 4-pack and it loses is the day we all go against you on them.
Oh, I'm telling you. The day that happens, he loses his seat at the Phoenix dinner. That's what happens.
Well, and so that's why I was thinking Khalil Mullings I was like, there's no way that I can bet a Michigan player in the Degenerate 4-pack and that be the one that I lose. Like, no, I can't lose that one.
All right. Well,
any NFL?
Oh,
Because I'm going against. I almost put this in the 4-pack. Bengals -4.5 against the Panthers. The Panthers aren't doing it again.
I'm done with Cincinnati, so don't talk to me.
And then the Rams versus Bears.
Say that again?
Rams plus money versus Bears.
Oh, yeah, I hate the Bears. So I totally agree. I'm going to tell you right now, Daniel Jones touchdown anytime against Dallas. Plus 300. I like that bet.
I could see it now that you say that. Now I think.
Oh. I like Minnesota at 3.5. I bought the hook against Green Bay.
Yeah, I like that. I had that game circled.
I have Seattle against Detroit at 4.5.
Steve, quickly explain the hook for anyone that's new.
The hook, buy the half point. So basically, if you're sitting on 3, you buy the hook, which is the half point. So you buy. So it was like I don't remember. I think 20 cents is what it cost me. I went from a 110 odds to -130 odds, and I went from a 3-point line to 3.5-point line. So I bought the hook, which is I bought the half point. So now when Minnesota loses by a last-minute field goal, I'm still okay because I have them at 3.5.
Or if you wanted to, you could do it the other way, right, and go 2.5 if you were gonna take the points or give the points.
Yep, I could absolutely. Yes. So you're saying if you want Green Bay, you could buy the half point and make a Green Bay -2.5.
Yeah.
So that way the field goal does make you prosper.
Tim's, quickly read our Degenerate 4-pack bet again.
We've got Dallas Cowboys -5.5 on Thursday night.
Russell.
We've got my pick, Miami Hurricanes on Friday night, -12.5. That's an alt line, so you have to go searching for that. Then we have Steve and Travis on the Ohio State game each. First, we got Travis first half -12.5, and then Steve's got the Ohio State game over 48.5.
And you can find these on FanDuel.
FanDuel, yes.
And then we have NASCAR at Kansas. The second round of the playoffs is underway. We're now into the round of 12. Xfinity are kicking off their playoffs. We like the second place finisher, Sheldon Creed, at plus 1,100 is the big breakthrough winner. Kyle Larson still on top of the predictor. We all think he has a good shot. Plus Toyota's Hamlin, Reddick, and my man Tampa Timms is heavily invested in Christopher Bell. Tune in this weekend. It's going to be a great weekend of racing and football action.
Can I make one request?
Oh, yes.
If Bell wins, can we find a way to get just like a Tampa reference or something? Can we sneak in something?
When Bell wins, some point I'm going to say, Christopher Bell fans rejoice. He's on to the next round of the playoffs. That's right for Tampa Timms right there.
Love it.
All right. Get all your bets in. May all your bets pay off.